What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we made our way up Route 111, and we're going to be continuing on by breaking through these rocks. We're going to have another trainer battle before we get out of this route, or at least maybe a couple even. But we're going to start with these two right here. Now, these two are actually kind of important. Hey, looky here, a tough-looking trainer here of all places. Camera's rolling. This is Gabby and Ty. They are unique trainers that are constantly rebattleable. Is that even a word? Rebattleable? Yeah, you can rebattle these trainers over and over. But the difference with these trainers is, unlike those that you add to your Pokénav, that these two switch routes every single time you beat them. There's also a little bit more to them that we're going to get into in a second, but I'm going to focus on taking down this Whismur before we start focusing on this Magnemite. Okay, I guess that works. Okay, so I'm going to try to use Ghidorah to just headbutt this Magnemite into submission with Flinch. That actually did a lot more damage than I was expecting it to do. Really? Okay. I guess we'll just use normal type moves on this thing then, even though I'm sure Ghidorah is going to hit a lot harder because that's his specialty. But Gabby and Ty, they're going to always have this Whismur and this Magnemite that'll eventually evolve. The more you fight them, obviously, the stronger they become. And they're also going to give us an interview at the end of this. Now, these interviews, they're just another little bit of a tidbit that the game adds. You know, a lot of the TV screens that you see in houses throughout the game, they'll be able to show these interviews after you're done with it. We'll remark on that a little bit later, but for now, let's do this interview. Awesome, awesome. Who are you? I knew we were onto something wild when we spotted you. Oh, please let me explain. We travel around everywhere interviewing all sorts of trainers. So would you give us a bit of your time for an interview? Absolutely. You will? Thank you. Okay, I need you to describe your feelings about our battle, but it has to be short and sweet. Go. It was. And I'm going to go into feelings. All right. Yeah, that's the perfect clincher. I get the feeling that this will make a great TV show. Nothing sells the viewer like apathy. There's a chance that they'll air this on TV, so make sure to look for us. Okay, we'll be seeing you. All right, we'll be seeing you later on. I believe... Actually, we're not going to be seeing... I don't think we're going to be seeing them for a little while now that I think about it. But yeah, they do move. They move between 3 different routes, so we will, again, obviously run into them again. They'll be stronger the next time we face them, so get ready for it. But in the meantime, let's continue just to battle some trainers. Oh my gosh, I'm so worried about effects. But don't leech seed me, bro. Ay. Okay. So not only do those interviews appear on televisions, but they will also appear on your friends' televisions should you ever mix records, which is pretty darn cool as well. I mean, it's okay. It's just another one of those little tidbits. I mean, they really tried to to utilize that record mixing thing in this game, if you couldn't tell, for so many different reasons. And it's a pretty cool thing, but in hindsight and in comparison to like a lot of the things we have nowadays, it's, I don't know, it's kind of underwhelming. It really is. I mean, it's like, oh, it's a thing to talk about, and that's really it. Do I have an awakening somewhere? Please tell me I do. I don't. Okay, maybe I have a berry for this. There we go. Chester berry is perfect. All right, so let's use that. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. I really can't wait until I actually have moves that can properly deal with Pokemon like this, or a Pokemon that can properly deal with Pokemon like this. Which we might be getting soon. Okay, don't are you serious? Oh my gosh, that is bad luck right there. That is seriously bad luck. Okay. Use another Chesto Berry. You know what, actually... Well, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to waste my Chesto Berries, but they're also so common, and also plenty of Pokemon hold them that I can steal them off of, so whatever. All right, let's just try to Bullet Seed this thing. Maybe we can kill it without touching it, even though that's not really doing all that much. Come on. Gosh, dang it. Don't use Stun Spore. Don't use Stun... Thank you. Oh, my goodness. I really hate dealing with Shroomish with this team, man, and I cannot wait to get the solution. I promise it's happening. I do have a solution in mind. It will happen. Okay, thank you. Get out of here. Ay. Alright, and there goes Shroomish. Do you have any more Pokemon? Meryl. Okay, well, I can deal with that, like, no problem. That's easy. And honestly, I should have switched back to Raiju, but whatever. I'll just use Bullet Seed. I don't even care. If this thing does not die in the first turn, I'm going to be, like, annoyed. Okay. Bullet Seed. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get rid of that move too. That's going to be a like the best thing ever. In fact, as soon as Toothless gets to level 28, I'm going to use a rare candy on him so I can get rid of Bullet Seed, because level 29 is when he learns his signature move, and that is going to be a godsend. It is so much better than Bullet Seed. It's not even funny. In fact, I would say it is the best grass type move in Generation 3. Unless you are, able to put together a nice Sunny Day build, in which obviously Solar Beam is going to be the best. And there's also like Frenzy Plant, but I mean, even those, they don't have the constant utility that Leaf Blade has, which is what he'll be learning at level 27. Okay, we are going to, you know what? Fine. If we're going to just keep fighting Pokemon that Raiju can't deal with, we'll just switch back to Toothless again and get him towards that level 28 so I can use that rare candy and be done with this mess. Jeez. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. We are getting, in an area we're going to start running. Man, I can't speak today. I cannot speak. We're getting into an area where we're going to be running into a lot more ground-type Pokemon, so it makes sense that we're dealing with stuff that Raiju can't really handle all that well. Okay, level 28. I'm going to use my rare candy immediately now, before I make any more of a fool of myself. And it is... I also have an HP up I guess I should use, too. I'll probably use that on Raiju. Alright, Toothless, not Ziggy. There you go. This is all yours. Toothless wants to learn the Leaf Blade. Well, I already know. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Bullet Seed, like, instantly. It's actually still better. So, take a look at this. Leaf Blade has a base power 70. It also has a high critical hit ratio. With that same type of attack bonus, it also has a base power of 105. Way better than Bullet Seed. Even at max, at 5 hits, it's better than Bullet Seed. Oh, so glad to be done with that crap. Okay, Raiju, take the HP up. I'm just kind of using that to clear out inventory space anyway. Let's keep moving. We have now made it into Route 112, and while Meryl can be caught on this route, there is one other new Pokemon that can be caught on this route, and that is Numel. Let's talk about Numel for a minute. Numel is a fire and ground type that eventually evolves into Camerupt. Now, if you're looking for, I would say, the best fire type alternative to Torchic / Combusken / Blaziken in this game, I would personally recommend Numel and Camerupt. Yes, it does have a quad weakness to water, but it also has a resistance to rock because of its fire typing, and an immunity to electric typing, as well as it completely neutralizing grass type moves. So really its only weaknesses to worry about are water and ground. This is pretty good. However, there are some caveats that come with this Pokemon. It is really slow. It kind of doesn't really have the best defensive stat in the world for how slow that it is. It's kind of a glass cannon that's also sort of slow, but it is, unfortunately, the best fire-type alternative to Torchic, Blaziken, etc. So yeah, not really saying all that. It's not really that high of a praise that it's the second best, but it is still better than the other, like, 2 options that you can find in this game. That said, if you really want to, there is another fire type that you can make work that we'll be getting into probably in the next episode. I can go over that one, because we'll be getting into the area where you can catch that, and you can make it work, but it's one of those Pokemon that has no evolution to it, therefore its base stats are kind of underwhelming. And then the other one that can be caught in this game is Slugma, which, yeah, that's just a garbage Pokemon. It really is not a good Pokemon at all. I'll talk about that more in the next episode. But yeah, those are pretty much all of your Fire-type options in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Unfortunately, they really did Fire-types dirty in this generation, which is probably why so many people do pick Blaziken, because there really is no other option you can have. I mean, that's fine. That's understandable. All right, we are definitely going to switch to Toothless here just because these are hikers, and I really don't want to even bother fighting them with Raiju. Also, it looks like we have some, well, phallic-looking men up there that we'll be talking to after we fight this guy. Hello, I almost said Bruce. That is Bryce. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, I should also mention the other really nice thing about Numel / Camerupt is that it can learn this move called Eruption, which is one of the best fire-type moves in the game. So that is pretty darn nice. It does have an incredibly good special move at its disposal. So if you do want that, Camerupt isn't so bad. Put a Quick Claw on it, and you still might be able to make it work. If you can somehow breed one to get Curse on it, then it's going to be even crazier. I mean, there's definitely some ways you can make it work. Just know that it is not really the best option in the world. It's just, unfortunately, the second best option in Hoenn. Yeah. Don't know why they did fire types so dirty. I mean, to be fair, every generation's done at least 1 or 2 types pretty dirty, considering the absolute lack of them. I mean, like Generation 1 and Ghost types, it's like, ugh, just pathetic. Like, why even have them in that game? I mean, they were more essentially poison types than they were actually Ghost types, considering there were no super effective Ghost moves in that game, like, at all. Hey, man, is our leader really going to awaken that thing? Sounds like it, yeah, but I heard we need a meteorite to do it. Oh, I get it now. That's why the rest of the crew went out to Fall Arbor. You got it. Until they come back, we're not allowed to let anyone pass, right? And these guys are really oblivious, but giving us a little bit of foreshadowing. We need to get all the way to Fall Arbor to figure out what the heck is going on before we can head up this way. So this is blocked off in the meantime. Let's head over here now. Take on this hiker, who I believe is going to add us to the Pokénav after this fight's over. And I just noticed that, like, at the bottom of his sprite, it's not even, like, I don't even think it's, like, pants, because, first of all, the sprite and that sprite there, and then the overworld sprite, they're not one and the same. He's clearly wearing blue in the overworld sprite, and then that one's green right there. I'm pretty sure that's just mud on his pants in the overworld sprite. Like, I don't buy that for a second that it's just brown pants. The way it, like, runs up his shirt, it just, yeah, there's no way. Okay, so let's find another I think this guy just has 3 Geodudes, honestly, which I guess I could, while I'm at it, get away with using an Absorb just to get my health back. What little I've lost, anyway. Easy peasy. I cannot wait to upgrade that move as well, though. That's going to be really nice. There is a much better version of Absorb that we'll be able to obtain later, although in this game, it's really not all that good compared to how it was in later games. Okay, so let's use another Leaf Blade. And then that is, well, actually, I think we can continue on a little further in this episode considering the time we're at. I thought we were actually closer to the 15-minute mark than we are. So I guess we can actually head on in through the fiery path in this episode, and I can start talking about all the Pokemon that can be found in here, even though there's not really all that much we can do in here. Thanks, Trent. Okay, so now really quickly, let me use a Repel. Which I only have 2 left. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's an issue. Okay, well, I guess between episodes, I am definitely going to have to go back and stock up on more repels, because that's a little bit problematic, but let's head on through anyway. Okay, so welcome to the Fiery Path, everybody. This is your non-stop destination for all 3 fire types that you can get in this game, as well as a couple of other new Pokemon. There are 4 new Pokemon that can be caught here in the Fire Path, and we're already done with it because we do not have the Strength 8 gem. So, in the Fiery Path, the 4 new Pokemon that can be obtained, and I really want to fight both of you, are Coughing, Torkoal, Slugma, and Grimer. Let's start with Coughing. Coughing is a decent poison type that specializes in physical attack and defense, which is good because poison is physical in this game. All poison moves are. And it is, honestly, in my opinion, the better of the 2 just because it does have a slightly better speed stat than the Grimer line. The Grimer line can tank things just a little bit better than the Coughing line, but it's still... I would say Coughing is still more well-rounded. That speed stat on Muck and Grimer really hurts it. And at least Coughing has a little bit of speed to it and can actually get more things done on its own, as opposed to just simply tanking things. So that's nice to know. But yeah, like I said, Grimer can also be caught in here. I kind of already went over that anyway. Then we have Torkoal, which I would consider the 3rd best fire type in Hoenn. Torkoal is incredibly slow, but that is about where its downsides actually come to an end. And oh crap, I'm not going to actually do anything to Numble. Great. That is about where its downsides end, because it actually can pack quite a punch. It can also learn some pretty darn good moves that have to do with a lot of the smoke that billows from its nose, like Smokescreen and things like that. It's a decent Pokemon, but like I said, it is really slow, and you have to basically work around that. Oh my gosh, they just really messed up Raiju in this fight. You have to be able to work around that in one way or another, so using the likes of like Curse and things like that to maximize Torkoal's potential. It can also learn some pretty interesting TMs, as well as some really interesting breeding moves if you want to breed one. So it's a decent Pokemon, but in a way I would say it's just a slightly worse version of Camerupt. While it hits a little bit harder, it's also a little bit slower, and it doesn't quite have the base stats that Camerupt has. It's a little bit more in the in-between level between Numble and Camerupt, unfortunately. And then there's Slugma, which I said is really, really bad. It eventually becomes a Fire Rock type, which is not near as good of a dual typing as Fire Ground. Makes it a little bit more vulnerable to things just because of Rock's weaknesses and stuff like that. So that's kind of unfortunate, and it's also just really slow, and it really doesn't pack a punch. It doesn't really have any special moves to its name. It's just kind of a basic fire type with a bad secondary typing. That's just slow, and yeah, it's just not good. It's just not a good Pokemon. So would not recommend getting a Slugma at all. Yeah, that is going to be it for everything that can be hot in the fiery path. You can also catch, like, Machop and Numble in there, which we've already been over. So, not going to worry about them too much. But, with all of that said, let's finish off this fight already. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. And I will see you all in the next one.